Hello and welcome to Poland Daily. We're on an excursion to the city of Łódź. It's right in the center of the country. Known as the Polish Manchester, it's a city of art and industry. And that's where we are for this series of episodes. Łódź is famous for factories making all kinds of things, as we'll see. In its heyday, it supplied textiles to the whole of Europe. In post-World War II Poland, Łódź also became a factory of dreams. It was the site of the Warsaw Film School at Łódź, and it earned the city the sobriquet of Hollywood. That's right, the Hollywood of Poland. The film school produced such top talents as Roman Polanski, Andrzej Wajda, and Krzysztof Kieślowski, and many others, as we'll see. There are more superlatives in this city, about 75 miles southwest of Warsaw, the capital. Łódź boasts the largest shopping center in Poland, MANUFACTURA. It's made out of an old factory complex. That's the largest shopping center in Poland. It also boasts the longest pedestrian street in the country, Piotrkowska, where you will find all manner of restaurants, clubs, and just about everything else you'd expect on a pedestrian street, including a statue of Arthur Rubinstein, the famous pianist who was from Łódź. And the pièce de résistance, marrying both technology and art, is the Science and Technology Museum next to the railway station. This is a world-class museum. It looks like something that belongs in the Smithsonian Institution. It's interactive and impressive. That's Łódź, and that's where we are on Poland Daily Travel, your destination for perhaps the best travel about Poland you'll find anywhere. Poland Daily Travel, like us on YouTube and like us on Facebook. We like you. Watch us now. Hello, I'm Will, and this is Poland Daily Travel, and this is, wait a second.
Otterstein.
Oh, Paulina, I was going to come to me.
I thought you were going to forget about me.
I was going to forget about you. How could I forget about you? Look, you're wearing your fur.
And standing next to you.
You're standing next to me. I knew you seemed familiar, and I was wondering why you were standing next to me. But it must be because you're Paula Otterstein. And let me tell you, when I think of great names, last names, I always think of Otterstein first.
Thank you, me too.
It's a beautiful name, yeah. Anyway, we're here at a place called MANUFACTURA, about which I know nothing. And I'm not ashamed to say that. But what do they do here?
What do you mean, shop?
Yes. Oh, no wonder I know nothing. It's all about shopping. Now,
and
folks,
eating.
and eating,
and
yeah.
dining.
Oh, eating. I like eating. It would be Americans would love
and
this
drinking.
place.
Yeah. It's
they could come here and shop till
they drop,
and they could just eat a lot of food and pig out, right?
And then shop
and get really
eat,
huge, and then change the sizes upwards. Go back and exchange all their clothing and get bigger sizes after they've had 5 pizzas, or whatever they serve here. But anyway, I can remain ignorant as usual because we have
someone coming.
we have you here, obviously, a lot smarter than I am.
Yeah.
But we
with
also
a lot
have
of knowledge on Łódź.
what do you call some with a lot of knowledge on Łódź? What do we call someone from Łódź?
Łódzianin?
Łódzianin? What do you mean?
I hope I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Would
Not a
be
Łódźowiec?
Łódźowiec? No.
Łódźowice?
No.
I don't know what I'm saying.
Let's change the topic.
Okay. Anyway, let's change because we're going to insult somebody. I have no idea. I would call it a citizen of Łódź, and we have one with us right now. May I introduce our friend Tom? Tom, just come on in here. Here he is, folks.
Hi, nice to meet you guys.
Hey.
Where are we, Thomas?
Actually, we are in the very heart of the Promised Land. Have you heard about the nickname of Lodz called Promised Land?
I haven't. Tell us.
Okay, so the city was built from the scratch in the 19th century because of the huge cotton industry. And it was called Promised Land because people from all around Polish land, which were former in the Russian Empire, were coming here to make great money. And in fact, they did really big money. So that's why it was called the Promised Land. And this factory was built on because this is a former factory. And it was built in the middle of nowhere and became one of the biggest factories in Russian Empire. So, in fact, it was the promised land for anyone who dreamed about big money. So, when you have currently American dream, here was the Polish dream. And I heard when I was coming here, I heard that you were talking how to call the citizen of Lodz. So there is one name. It comes from German, in fact, but it is like Lodzer Mensch.
Lodzer Mensch.
Lodzer
Mensch means man or
Yeah,
human
mensch.
being.
First.
Human
Yeah,
being.
yeah.
Is that right?
So
Human being? You speak German.
man from Lodz, but this
Yeah.
is a particular type of man. The one who came to the promised land and make big money from nothing to billionaire.
Yeah.
So the real
incredible.
citizens of Lodz are Lodzer Mensch.
Lodzer Mensch.
And
okay.
there is also a famous quote from the book called Promised Land, written by Polish writer Raymond.
Raymond, right? He
Yeah,
won
you
a
know
Nobel.
Raymond.
Didn't he
yeah.
won a Nobel Prize?
Yeah, he
Is that
won a
right?
Nobel Prize, and he wrote a famous book, Promised Land. And in this book, there is a dialogue between two guys who came here with nothing, and they said, "Okay, I have nothing. I also have nothing. Great. So together, we have enough, exactly enough, to build a great factory." So here it is.
How did they get the money for the factory? This is the factory in that movie, or in that book.
Yeah, it is also in the book because it was one of the biggest factories in Łódź at that time. It was
Okay.
built by Israel Poznański.
Which the
Jewish
palace,
yeah.
we're going to go and
Yeah.
walk by the
We're
palace
there.
There
later.
is his palace, and
Yeah,
here was
yeah.
his factory.
Right.
So he was a Jewish entrepreneur
Right.
who built the factory from the scratch.
It's incredible. How could you do that? How did you get the money to do it? I mean, you can't. Where do you get the capital to build a factory?
Yeah, we want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually,
Don't you? You wanted to know, yeah.
Actually, they
Me too.
usually started with very small
Yeah.
capital, but at that time in Russian Empire, there was huge market for textiles. So even if you have a small factory, you can very easily build it to be a great factory.
Right.
Of course, using extremely cheap labor force.
Right.
So because the people from rural regions around the roads,
From the
because
countryside.
and
yeah.
there were
yeah.
around the roads, there were a lot of very poor countryside regions. So peasants were coming here and were working almost for nothing.
They work for virtually nothing just to have something to do.
Exactly.
But
That's
I
it.
can see that tradition has still occurs in Poland.
Unfortunately, it has changed a lot since the collapse of communism regime.
Yeah.
But of course, at that time, the 19th century, it was quite
just like that.
Yeah, the communism was just like that, and that's why of the reasons why we fortunately managed to destroy it
and to
liberalize.
change,
Yeah,
completely change,
to
or
change the
change
system.
things. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
So
there
now this is. It started as a factory of what? What were they making?
they were making textiles.
Textiles, fabric. Which is
Fabrics.
famous. It's called the Polish Manchester.
Yeah, it is called Polish Manchester because of the number
Yeah.
of factories here,
Right.
but textiles factories,
Right.
not a heavy industry, I don't know, like a steel plants, but textile factories which were producing textiles for Russian market and especially for, in fact, Russian army, which were getting bigger and bigger at that time, and also this spot is not only a factory; it is also a city inside the city, because besides these buildings, there are also another buildings where workers were living. So they were living there. There were also hospitals, kindergartens, schools. So they were actually living inside this factory complex. Everything was here.
Was existing here.
Yeah.
So it's okay. So that was what Łódź was like some time ago. This factory was once a working textile factory, started by two guys with virtually nothing, employing people who had absolutely zero. And there was a famous book, The Promised Land, also a movie by Andrzej Wajda called The Promised Land from the 70s, which was a very famous film worldwide. Hey, stay tuned, and we'll talk about what Manufactura has become today. Stay with us. Poland Daily with
Me.
Paula, with you, and with Paula and Thomas. We'll be right back. We're back. Poland Daily Travel. I'm here in the beautiful MANUFACTURA, which has an amazing history, as Thomas was just telling us. And we're here with Paula, of course, with me, with you, and with him. And okay, so we got a great history before about what this place was, what it was designed for, which was a factory, and quite a successful factory. It's so successful and so important that a book was written about it and later made into a famous film. What is it today? It was manufacturing, now what is it?
Actually, currently it's a huge shopping center, shopping mall.
How huge is it?
It is, I think, second biggest in the Central Europe.
Wow.
Wow.
So it's
Okay.
really vast.
Okay.
So you can do shopping here, but also there is a hotel, beautiful one, which is in the former factory. So you have rooms with the red brick walls.
That's the Vienna Hotel, Vienna House
No,
Hotel?
it's Andels. It's Vienna Andels, yeah.
Vienna Andels,
Vienna Andels,
okay.
yeah. There is also art museum, MS Square,
Okay.
which has great collection of modern art.
Right.
There are cafe, restaurants, clubs.
Yeah.
So you can actually, as in the history, workers were living here, working and living here.
Yeah.
Currently, you can also live here, shopping, having fun, and staying overnight, and also enjoy some art.
So it has everything to add to attract the modern enjoyer of a cosmopolitan lifestyle. Yeah?
Absolutely.
Right. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Stay with us. Poland Daily Travel. Okay. We're going to take a further walk around and maybe go look at this beautiful palace nearby. Okay? Stay with us. Thanks to Tom and thanks to Paula.
Thanks.